Good evening. It is I, Ankar. It is my pleasure to be with you in this evening. Yes, that is the medium's favorite way of thinking of God. Introducing yourself to the simple but awe-inspiring oneness of being one with Him. And of course, as it says, as she says within that meditation, that she is part of God in all ways. And so therefore, God is part of her. So it is that it is true for you. And it is important for you to remember these things, that you are a powerful being who is capable of creating the world that you wish to live in and the life that you live. And you do this truly and every day. And as a result, you are the creator of the world in which you live. Now, in the past, we have spoken about your perceptions and how your perceptions determine exactly what the life that you experience, because it is up to you to judge what is happening in your life. You know, you have heard that you get judged when you pass over. And you have also heard that that's not exactly correct because you judge yourself. Well, you have been practicing judgment most of your life. You have been making judgments about what you like and what you don't like, what is good in your life and what is not good. And so through these judgments that you make in every day, you create the life that you are seeing and existing in. You are creating your own world. When you decide that you are unhappy because something is not the way you want it to be, well, you are truly unhappy. And if you decide that it is okay, then you revert to a state of mind which is not happy, perhaps, but it is not sad. It is not angry. It is neutral. And it is important to always come back to that neutral point in your life, because that is the area which is not judged, which can move in any direction. And from that neutral area, you can choose to create more happiness for yourself by deciding to make judgments about things, to make sure that you think of them as being happy things. And so when you consistently look at the world around you and you make a judgment that it is good, when you see someone else that is in your life and you label them as good, you have just increased goodness that surrounds you in your life. As many things as you can say are good, well, these things then dominate your life. And you are good in every way. You are happy because you see goodness everywhere. It is your determination. If you see evil and you see things you do not like, you think they are bad, well, then you slowly clutter up your world with bad things, with evil things, with things you do not like. And it can overwhelm your perception so that all you begin to see is evil or bad. You don't think of the good anymore. So it is really up to you. And you need to guard your judgments so that you recognize that the majority of the judgments you make are for good. And therefore, the majority of the things that surround you will be good. And when everything is good, that is when you are happy. So you create your own happiness through your judgments, your desires, the things that you do. You can take actions, and you can judge your actions as being good. Or you could choose to think that they were inadequate, not good enough. They didn't create exactly what you thought, but you could also still say, but I did my best, and I am good because I tried. And I create good at other times in my life. The consistent working to create good, the consistent judgments that things are good, these things make your life consistently better and consistently good in every way. And so I implore you, be the creator of a happy life. Now, are there any questions for me? You may ask anything, and just to give you the rules, if no one else is speaking, it is your turn. And I do ask you to please ask questions, or else it ends the evening too early.
Well, you were speaking about happiness. I find that for myself, I have a lot of fear about things, and all of a sudden, and I don't know where it comes from, and yet I feel that it's holding me back from doing things. And I don't even know what I'm afraid of, and I don't know what I can do to help myself. I was wondering if you had any idea about that.
Yes, I have some suggestions. Don't allow yourself to experience fear. When you feel it coming on, say, this is silliness on my part. I am creating something that doesn't exist. I am creating fear in my life. And there's no reason why I should be fearful, for my life is good. Do you understand that? Can you say that about your life? Your life is good. And there is no reason for you to create fear, because fear is as much your own creation as happiness is your creation. You can, when you are feeling fearful, you can begin to make affirmations as to your happiness. I am rather big on affirmations because they affect your thinking and the quality of your thought. If you continually say that things are good, everything is going fine, how can you feel fearful? That was difficult for me to say. How can you feel fearful? Because you are so busy making affirmations, saying that things are good, that they are going the way you want them, that you are successful in your creation. And perhaps the reason that you feel fearful when things seem to be going good is that you have had some traumatic experiences with the loss of your husband and the loss of your son. And while life was happy for you, that loss that you occurred and you brought there ruined your happiness for a period of time, known as mourning. It is normal that you should mourn those that you have lost, that are no longer in your company, no longer with you. That brings sadness. And so I think if you look within yourself, you will realize that when things are going well, you become fearful that you will lose happiness because you have lost happiness in the past. And so I urge you to make a list of affirmations, things that you want to say about your life that are very good. you can say things like, very simply, that life is good. I enjoy my life. Everything works out the way I want it to work out, or I am in control. And if you can make this list and read it over, perhaps in the morning, read it over at lunchtime, read it at supper time, make the list as long as you can possibly make it, with at least 20 things that you can be happy about in your life, whatever it is. And consciously make these affirmations. I am beautiful. I am perfect. Life is good. Everything gets accomplished that I want to accomplish. I see happiness everywhere I look. Try to think of these types of affirmations. And actually, you can find books of affirmations on the internet, lists of affirmations. Go on there, choose the ones that you like, and write them down. I am the all-knowing, opulent manifestation of God. I am rich in every way. I am smart. I am intelligent. I am the joy of God. I am joyful. I create joy in my life. I experience joy in every day. Try to, in that expression, I experience joy in every day. Perhaps you need to make a sub-list of the things that you have that are joyful. You have a pet, and you enjoy the pet. I find my pet funny. I find him enticing. I like my pet. I am happy I have my pet. Now, I know that can actually, at some point in time, bring you to another loss in your life. But that can change. You can get another pet, which will grow to be as dear to you as this one has grown to you, even though you never wanted it. And so you can create joy and happiness in your life and suppress fear by consciously covering it up with happy, joyful things that you determine that are yours. And I think that will help you a lot. But even if all you do is when you begin to feel fearful, that you deny that fear. Say, I am not fearful. I am strong. I am courageous. I can accomplish anything. Nothing scares me. That will help. Stop the thoughts of fear. Do not let them stay in your mind, and replace them with your affirmations. Are there other questions, or do you need further clarification?
No, thank you. That was very helpful.
I hope so. It is well within your power to change your life into a happier one without fear, because fear is all in your mind. And so take control of your mind and get rid of the fear by sending it away. Are there other questions from anyone else? Or another question from Elizabeth?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. I feel like I am being pulled to pursue some kind of strong spiritual path, and I am at a loss of which direction I am supposed to be going in. Is there any direction that you have for me?
What direction do you think you would prefer to go in?
One of the things I do is I do angel writing. So I channel messages, and I've done it for different kinds of, different friends of mine and things. I guess part of it is not always believing that I really have the gifts, not always believing that that's what I'm supposed to do, just always questioning, I guess.
Yes. Well, first of all, let me relieve you of the impression that there is only one thing that you are supposed to do. That is not true. People have that idea that there is something special that they were put on earth to do. But the truth of the matter is that something special is in you to the point that you really want to do it. And so usually there are more than one thing that you would like to do, and you might be torn in more than one direction. And the thought that there is only one special way of doing something is an excuse to keep you from taking action because of fear within your own being. And you have confessed to that already. You worry that your angel writings are not legitimate, that they are not authentic. And you need to not judge yourself or whether something is right or wrong, or what you have written is correct or wrong. You can only channel what it is that you feel, what you are inspired to say, and you cannot judge what you are inspired to say, because you cannot hear what you have said the way the person that you are giving it to hears it. They will not hear your words. They will hear the words they need to hear. Your words will be the vehicle by which they are inspired to see a solution, learn a fact, take an action. And that's what you have to realize. Because when you think you are clear, you will find very often that people did not understand what you were saying. They took it to mean something entirely different, which was good for them to hear. And so you cannot be wrong. It's as simple as that. When you set yourself down to get information for someone else, to be of help through this method or other people, your intention is pure, and the results will be pure. Do not judge what you have written as to whether you think it is right or wrong. Let it be. Many times you may even, the person that you are trying to inspire or help may not see the wisdom in what you are writing and what comes about. But sometimes then in discussion afterwards, you will find that what you wrote and what you said would have benefited the person, but they were not ready to hear what you are saying and what you are writing. And so they do not get the message. You are not in charge of whether someone benefits from your channeling and the words that you say. It is up to them to hear what they need to hear so that they can be inspired and guided by your words. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you. That was very helpful.
Yes. So you are already on a spiritual path of inspiration through your angel writings. So you can continue on that pathway. And at some point in time, you may desire to develop additional skills. In which case, don't abandon what you are doing, but let your new skills help you to be even better and more inspiration than you are currently. But you are perfectly adequate and very good as you are.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I
Are there other
appreciate it.
questions? You have another question? Are there other questions then?
I wanted to ask a question. I work in a place where I'm put in a position of constantly, well, pretty much every day, consoling people who come to the office. And I say things to them, and then a couple of days later, they'll call me back, and they'll call the guy that owns the place, and they will say about I was very comforting to them, and they really were moved by what I said to them. And for the life of me, I don't remember. It's like I don't even know where the words come from. They just come out of my mouth. Is that normal?
Is that what did you say?
I said, is it normal that I don't really feel as though the words of comfort are coming from me? Because I don't remember any of them. I wish I could, because I'd use them the next time.
Yes, what is necessary to say to each person is obviously different. So you couldn't use the same words for the next person. They might not apply. And that person might not be able to hear what you meant to express in those words. So you'll say it differently. Another time, you'll say something different. It is normal when you are acting as a channel not to remember your words. And what you have to realize that within your desire to be of comfort and to do your job properly, you will channel words of wisdom. You will channel words of solace. You will channel what needs to be said, because this is your disposition. This is what you have always done. You may not recognize it, but you have always done this. And this position is an ideal position for you. For in this way, you can serve every one of those people that come to you. And it is in service that you can find the most satisfaction. So do not worry whether you can remember what you have said. It's not important, because you said the right words. The right words came out of your mouth. It is similar to what the medium is doing now. It is not important what she says or how she says it, because she is not saying it. I am saying it, but it is her mouth. And so you must not worry about these things. Sometimes later on, you will come to realize that what you said in an instance was particularly right or particularly helpful. And if you wonder where those words came from, they came from your connection to God, to Spirit, to that which animates and motivates us all. And so just be thankful for the opportunity to be of such help to these individuals. Are there other questions? You know, when it comes to other people, it is hard for you to make good judgments. And people often misjudge you because they either cannot hear what you are saying, because your words become so covered up by the words they are hearing that they cannot find your expression. It is a similar thing that we are saying here, that the words that you use, and in the case of the angel writings, or in the case of what you are doing in the course of your business, that the words that you say are not the words that they hear. The things that they choose to see about you, the things that people see about you, whether they are good or bad, are a reflection of their consciousness, not your being. For they cannot know you. They cannot hear you. They cannot understand you because they only can process what comes through their senses and through their brains, which colors and sometimes distorts the manifestation of you. And so do not allow yourself to be upset by the words of others. Do not worry what others think of you, because the words of others are reflections of themselves. What they think of you is a reflection of themselves. And so they do not know you. They cannot know you because everyone sees and hears as a reflection of themselves. And what would be really wonderful is that you, seeing good in everyone that you meet, find that you live a very happy life because you constantly perceive good, which is a reflection of yourself. Hone the skill of seeing good. Hone the skill of thinking happy thoughts and observing happiness and manifestation everywhere and participating in it for your own pleasure. Well, this is how you live a happy life. Do you have other questions? Now, everyone has become extremely quiet. I guess you have been stunned at my intellect, perhaps, or who I am. I was trying to be funny. No one is laughing.
I was muted, but I was laughing. I just wanted to ask about one more thing about when someone passes over to the other side, but then they're sometimes always in the surroundings where they were. For example, my son is always here in this house. It's obvious. Sometimes you could actually see a shadow of him. Sometimes you can see the whole of him as he was. Are they not settled on the other side, or are they just coming back to visit? I'm starting to wonder, am I holding him here, especially because I don't have him interred? I just have him on the dresser. But I just don't know. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to be, somebody told me once that I was holding him on this plane, but I really don't feel like I am.
This is, it is difficult to answer your question because it could be that he is choosing to stay around you, to be with you. Almost as an apology for what he did, that he left you and he's not leaving you. If you can understand that slight difference. His own feeling of remorse at having caused you pain may be what is holding him in your presence. Do not think that you are responsible in that case. You are not holding him back. He is choosing to remain close to you. And when you transition, he will probably finish and stay. He will be there to welcome you as well as to guide you. And both of you will enter into spirit together. The fullness of spirit, since he is not enjoying, well, he is enjoying his fully spiritual life. It is his decision. Do not feel guilty. Do not let the words of others affect you so that you feel guilty. That is another part of that example, that do not listen to the words of others and the way they interpret you, because that is always a reflection of themselves. Are there other questions? I heard someone was coming in. There was 2 people speaking. Well, as there seems to be no more questions for this evening, then it is time for me to say goodnight. But I have appreciated your participation in this evening. I hope that you have been helped by my work. Yes?
Yes, thank you very much. You were very helpful.
You are most welcome. And so I give you all my blessings. Good night.
Thank you again.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, I'm back. Oh, I hope the rest of you didn't go away yet, but I just wanted to say good night to you too. So remember, I love you all. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.